Welcome to the Holistic Success Show. My name is Dr. Robert Puff.
And I'm Elizabeth Lozano.
Today we're going to look at Feng Shui. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically trying to make your work, your office, and your life balanced so everything flows really well. We're going to have a great guest for that.
We're also going to be seeing some clips about exercise and nutrition in regards to being holistically healthy that Dr. Puff has done.
And then we're going to answer one question. Well, answer two, but the first question is going to be about how do you deal with difficult people when they're just difficult? What do you do with that? How do you handle them?
And then the second question is going to be, how do I heal from a bitter divorce?
So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Holistic health and nutrition. What do I mean by that? Our bodies are the summation of what we eat every day, or we are what we eat. So what you put in your body affects who you are and what you are, as far as how your body feels, how it stays healthy or stays unhealthy. And so today I want to talk about how to, one, understand that, and two, perhaps improve that. So the first thing you have to do is say, okay, what do I do for eating? Mostly you're going to get your eating habits from what you were raised with. I was raised in the Midwest, and I was raised on a very typical Midwestern diet, and it included, a lot of meat and a lot of potatoes. And when I moved to California, when my wife first met me, she always shares a story that was pretty funny. We would go out to eat, and like if I went to a restaurant, my vegetables would be French fries, and she I've come a long way since then, but she thought that was pretty funny, and so she often shares that story. But that was my education, that was my upbringing. Like, well, it's a vegetable. That's what you eat with your meat and potatoes. That's what we grew up with, and so wherever you're at, and you may still think that's a typical good thing to eat, but what I want to encourage you to do is realize that your body is affected by what goes inside of it. So if good things are going inside of it, you feel good. If things that aren't so good going inside of you, you don't feel so good. So what are perhaps good things that are going inside of you? Or what are things you could put in good inside your body? And to start with saying, okay, don't judge. This isn't here to judge yourself. That never works. You just want to say, okay, what am I eating today? How much of it was good? What I mean by that is good. Good is vitamins and minerals. We've kind of all heard about that, and enzymes, all these great things that make our bodies healthy, give us energy, and keep us doing well. And what I really encourage people to think about is, live food that isn't cooked, that's fresh, and preferably organic so there aren't pesticides on it. It's just really good for your body. It keeps your body healthy because you have all these minerals and vitamins and nutrition going in your body. It keeps you really, really healthy. And if I can just share what I do, I have come a long ways from my meat and potato upbringing. I eat about 80% raw, and about 20% are whatever I want, basically. And what that entails is, for morning, I have about a half a gallon of organic juice that I make every day, and then I have a pretty large salad for lunch, and then I have some raw nuts kind of throughout the day. Kind of sustains me. And then for dinner, what works for me, I typically can eat whatever I want. I usually eat vegan, which means non-animal products, but I can eat steak, I can eat whatever I pretty much want. I just have gotten very used to eating more vegetarian food. But so what's happening is all day long, I don't even have to take vitamins, because all day long I'm just having all these nutrients going through my body. And if you know me, you hopefully get to know me through this show, that I just don't get sick almost ever. I stay very, very healthy. I don't require a lot of sleep, and it's interesting to me, a lot of people that have gone raw, not that you have to go raw because that's kind of extreme, but people have gone raw do it so they can have more energy and can actually have more sleep less. So it's kind of one of the side effects of it for some people. So, but for you, just start with where are you, and saying, yeah, it kind of makes sense. I hear that throughout the grapevine, that eating raw, live food is good for me. So perhaps when you're at a meal, even one day a week, you could say, instead of getting dessert, I'll get some grapes, I'll get some fruit, I'll have a grapefruit. So you slowly are beginning to make change. And if you slowly make change, you keep adding a little bit more. And like me, I read about it. I didn't just overnight start eating raw. I mean, that took me years to get there, you know. But if you start learning about it, educating yourself, you know, watching shows like this, and we're gonna have some great guests that will come on here talking about how to eat well and take care of your body. It's part of being holistically healthy. You know, you will begin to improve and, you know, go at a pace that's comfortable for you. If you dive into it too quickly, you'll jump out. That's what happens with a lot of people. So just slowly improve, educate yourself, and get your body so it becomes healthier and healthier, because your body is what you eat. And if you eat well, your body's going to do well. So I wish you well, and peace.
Our first question comes from Lawrence I. from Long Beach, California, and he asks, how do you react with kindness when you receive utterly terrible customer service and you're really frustrated?
Very good question. Very difficult question, but an important question. What do I mean by that? It's going to be difficult, but I have a little trick I think that could help you. Just ask them a question. I've done this many, many times. I'm standing in line, and like you, Larry, I've faced this very difficult customer service person. And I'll just say, I try to say very kindly, you know, it's hard. I say, you know, is everything all right? You know, is everything okay? And they usually are taken back by that. And I say, why? I say, well, I mean, it seems like, you know, you're kind of upset, and I don't feel like I've done anything to offend you. So I just wanted to see if everything was okay. And I've experienced many, many times, most times when I ask that question, what I get back is, you know, their boyfriend just broke up with them, their father's sick, they're worried about their son who's sick at school, and they have to go pick him up. Something is wrong, and that's why they're acting that way.
Or sometimes maybe they just had somebody who was rude to them.
Yeah,
could leave a bitter taste in
absolutely.
their
That's
mouth.
a very good point, Elizabeth. But they're acting that way towards you for a reason. Now, if you had offended them, if you were saying hurry up or being rude, you know, you need to own that. But if you don't feel like you've done something wrong and they're not doing a very good job with you, it's very unlikely it's about you. And they're suffering. And what can make you more tender towards them and kind, even if you say nothing, but if you can really understand they're acting that way because of pain inside of them, emotional pain, something is wrong. And I think that just helps take off your edge. You know, can I share a story? It's a really good story. There was once a man, he was in a subway, and he had 2 kids, and they were terrible, awful. I mean, they were awful. New York subway, and they were just awful. And finally, a guy came up to him and said, you know, can you do something about your kids? And the guy would look down, then he looked up and said, well, I know, I don't know what to do. We just came from the hospital, and their mother died. I just don't know what to do. So understand there's a lot of pain out there, and you know, be gentle. And if you just say nothing, that's okay. But try to not take an eye for an eye, because that really does make the whole world blind. Instead, reach out with kindness or reach out with silence. Just